What a lineup we have for you tonight. He's one half of Britain's gayest comedy double act. From Little Britain and Come Fly With Me, I'll be chatting to Matt Lucas later. She's Australia's only true gigastar, and she's here to help me look back on 2010. Dame Edna Everage will be here. They're four young lads who I've been following for years. Well, apart from that nasty business with the restraining order. McFly will be here. Yes, 2010 is behind us, but what a year it was. We got a coalition government. They call it power sharing. What's power sharing? I'm from Northampton. That's when you run your Christmas lights off your neighbours. We've all done it. It's not stealing, it's borrowing, isn't it? And they caused a fuss about those tuition fees. I went to number 10 to protest to Cameron. Because he weren't there, I got that Clegg instead. I'm afraid the gentleman in the house isn't in. I can't talk of such matters. I've got a lasagna on. Bloody useless. Thankfully, Cameron's got plans in case the country grows bored of Clegg. He's going to invite Nicole Shirtlifter from the Pussycat Dolls to stand in as guest Deputy Prime Minister. That's good, yeah. Don't you think we should cut tuition fees? Don't you? And who could forget the Chilean miners? Wasn't it nice for once to have a story centred on the ordeal and suffering of miners without a single mention of a Catholic priest? Innit? Can you imagine the excitement of emerging from the darkness after 69 days and seeing the sunlight and daybreak for the first time? Followed by the disappointment and cries, "This is shit! GMTV was much better!" What about the BP oil spill? I don't know what the fuss is all about. I thought oily fish was supposed to be good for us. What is that about? I was watching the news going, bring on the omega-6, bring it on. In the end, it cost around $3 billion to clean up. They should have used my cleaner, Trudka, honestly. She only charges £8.50 an hour and she does the ironing. Good, isn't it? 2010 was the year of the unfaithful footballer, weren't it? Considering all the sex going on, I'm amazed the likes of Terry, Cole and Crouch actually found any time to play football. Oh, hold on, I've just remembered the World Cup. Oh, they didn't. Don't get me started on the World Cup. Do you remember those text photos of Ashley Cole in those baggy white pants? Not very impressive, were they, girls? No. They won't. Looked like Gillian McKeith curled up in a hammock. Give me. And imagine poor Colleen Rooney having to read all those lurid headlines, then having to read them again to Wayne. Can you... Poor old George Michael. He ended up in jail after driving his Range Rover into a shop. Police first became suspicious that drugs might be involved when George claimed that the Snappy Snaps branch had jumped a red light. George was taken to court in the back seat of a car with a blanket over his head. Chuck in a pillow and a mug of Ovaltine on the dashboard. That's his usual driving position. Anyway, 2011 is another year, and more importantly, we've all got a royal wedding to look forward to. God bless you, Mum. I know she watches. God bless you. It's going to be an April wedding. Well, any later and William won't have any hair left, will he, for his big wedding? Have you seen it? Camilla's upper lip's got more growth on it, hasn't it? She can't help it, she ain't HRT. But won't it be beautiful when Kate walks down the aisle? You won't be able to hear a pin drop. Maybe Kate's mum going ka-ching, but not a pin drop. Don't forget, Kate's mum is a former air stewardess. And we'll be following the bride down the aisle shortly with a trolley of duty-free cigarettes, premium spirits and perfumes. Sketch card, Mum. Let's bring out my first guest. It's McFly! Do you like a drink?
Yes, please. What have you got?
Well, Bucks Fizz.
Oh!
Dubonnet and gin fizz. It's all leftovers. You know what it's like after New Year's. It's all...
More of a gin fizz, actually.
Gin fizz,
I
yeah.
like,
What do you want, love?
I have a mix of all three, please.
Oh, of course! You're real rock and roll, aren't you? Oh, give me some Dubonnet.
Nice, there you go.
Gin fizz.
Is that...
Dubonnet.
Oh, Dubonnet.
What is it? Is it
I have no idea. It looks like Benylin. Do you like it?
Down it, down it, down it, down it, down it, down it, down it.
Oh, well, thanks for turning my chat show into an 18 to 30 holiday. That's lovely. So, do you have a nice Christmas?
Oh, yeah, well, we were with our families, weren't we?
Yeah, we always take Christmas off and see our families. So we spend all year with each other, so it's nice to get away from each other for a couple of days.
Yeah. But, Tom, you are literally obsessed with Christmas, aren't you?
Yeah, I do. I love Christmas.
You had a Christmas party, didn't you?
Oh, a birthday party, yeah.
In July.
Yeah. I did, it's true. I did, yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how excited you get? Are you a bit like that girl in that Alton Towers advert? I can't sleep, I can't sleep. Is that what you're like?
Yeah, my tree's always the first to go up as well.
You're going out with Miss England, aren't you? 2007, is that
That's right, yes.
2008.
8, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, make her feel special. What did you get for Christmas? Like world peace? They love all that, don't they? But you have a thing for beauty queens, don't you? Because your other girlfriend was Miss England.
Well, no, I had a thing with a Miss England before.
Do you ever go international?
Well, we did Miss World, didn't we?
Yeah, we had a good time out there.
At Miss World, and there was a girl from each country.
That's what Miss World's like.
Exactly. Yeah. The light one of us. Sorry, this is going somewhere. The light one of us. I think Miss USA liked you, didn't she? Obviously, Miss England. Can't remember.
Mr. Universe.
Have he turned up at the wrong do? Hi, I'm here. What?
I had Miss Kazakhstan asking me for my room number.
Miss Kazakhstan! Woo! Was she nice, Miss Kazakhstan?
She was nice. She had quite a deep voice, which was quite frightening.
Did you pull anyone?
No,
we're all taken.
Relationships.
Oh, you are,
relationships,
aren't you?
Yeah. Well, except
Mr. Singleton.
Mr. Single over here.
No, we're sorry to hear about that, Dougie. How hard is it to have a normal relationship when you're in a band?
I think it's all I've been in with my girlfriend for 7 years since I've been in the band. So it's all I've known. So I think if it's if you're with the one you want to be with, you make it you find a way of making it work.
Oh, look at
Lovely. So most of you are taken at the moment, but 4 boys in a band. Let us know. No, what happened on the tour bus? Let us know. No, I bet it was riddled, that bus.
I think we're going to have a very good book when it all comes down to it, yeah.
Right. There's stuff we
it's gonna
can't
shock
really
people.
repeat right now.
Come on, tell us.
You have to wait. I can't.
No, come on.
We had this pole that came out of the roof of the bus and it, came down, didn't it? And then people,
people just...
Yeah, that's it.
A pole. What, did you have a giant kebab? What happened around the pole? How many of you had sex on a tour bus? Come on, I want to hear that. Never. When you're a chat show and a stand-up comedian, you don't have... Oh,
Right, hands up if you have.
I've
You've
had
had
sex
sex
with
on the-
myself on the tour bus.
Sex with yourself doesn't
Does that not count? No.
Do you have like a special bunk?
Yeah. Curtains.
Curtains. Close your curtains.
Close
Yeah.
them.
The spunk bunk.
Very good, Tom. I think it's a bit hard to have, to have sex in a bunk because if there's someone above you or below you, you're
got
gonna
about
be
that much room
yeah,
anyway.
you're gonna have a bad back, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you bending over when you're doing...
Where's that pole going? I don't know where the pole's going. Now, when you started out, before you became McFly, what did your parents think when you said, I think I might want to go into music? Were they worried?
Well, me and Tom have been playing guitar since we were like 5, 6 years old. We've always wanted to do it, and I don't know really. I just sort of always said I want to get up on stage, I want to perform. And then when I met Tom, it was just like, oh, this could be. We started writing together, and you're under management.
My mum and dad were worried, definitely. They didn't want me to do it.
Because you went to a posh school, didn't you?
Yeah, I think that's why. They wanted me to
man.
go.
All about education.
Hey, man! I think that's exactly it, yeah.
Could we forget how long you've been going? Look, we've got a picture here when you started.
Oh my God! Oh, you got glasses on, Dougie.
Well, Dougie looks like he's come straight from computer club.
Warhammer.
I killed an orc today. Tom, you look like Claire Balding. You're always seen as a boy band, even though you wrote your own songs. Did you find that frustrating?
It was when we were younger. I think it's only because the stereotype of a boy band, it's manufactured and singing, dancing. But, it's something we've kind of got over as we've got older and got more secure with ourselves now.
You never went down the old route, did you, really?
What's that?
Grabbing and... you know the videos.
A few grabs.
You did have a few grabs?
Yeah.
We're not talking about the tour bus here. Dougie from the claps. Let's talk about your latest album, Above the Noise. It's fair to say it's more grown up, isn't it?
Well, I think it's the most we've ever changed direction, of all of our albums. We worked with Dallas Austin and Ty Cruz on 2 songs as well, and I think it's definitely the most. We're so proud of the album. I think when we were nervous, obviously, when you do make a change in direction, you're worried because you don't want to upset the fans who've been with us for so long. But I think all of the things, all the fundamentals are there that of a great McFly songs there on all the songs on the album. It's all still. Great pop melodies.
You should be a politician, man.
Should I?
Yeah, so good, isn't he?
Oh, no, I'm getting brainwashed here. I will vote for you, Tom. Some of the lyrics are a bit sexual, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some here like... Wrap your legs around me and make the most of the ride.
Yeah.
That's awesome! Mind you, some of the younger fans might think you're talking about My Little Ponies. That's all right. Listen to this. Stay with me and let's make it the longest day. Pour yourself in my mouth. I love the way you taste. It's a girl, not a Capri Sun.
Talking about gin fizz.
Gin fizz. Something you call it. Now, Dallas Austin, he's worked with everyone, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Michael Jackson,
Yeah, he's worked with some pretty
Madonna
awesome
and...
people, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he was like the #1 producer for us because we were referencing all those artists and he's actually worked with them and made those albums. And, he works completely differently to any way we've ever recorded before. He spends most of the time partying, like the tiny percentage of it is recording, but it's the partying that inspires the music.
Because I heard that weren't you in strip bars having tequila shots and everything?
One of the first places he took us, wasn't
Yeah, he took us straight
we went for a meal in a strip club, didn't we?
Yeah.
Went for dinner.
They have like 5-star restaurants in strip clubs in Atlanta.
amazing.
It's like the home of strip clubs.
Is it off-putting having your
It's kind of
dinner
weird.
and seeing woman go...
It is kind of
It
weird.
depends what you order. I ordered the fish. That was a bad move. You had like a hot dog or something. That was fine.
There's a woman there doing this. You're going, this fish is off. That poor woman. You got invited to go to Elton John's for dinner?
Yeah, we did. This was quite bizarre because it was the first day we were there and Dallas was like, he's like, oh shit, I'm meant to be going out with Elton John. I was like, okay, cool. And he said, I'm in the studio with McFly. He said, bring the boys along. So we ended up going out to dinner and he was really nice and Ended up playing his first gig at the place where we live now and stuff. And really nice guy. Then he invited us to dinner at his apartment, which was amazing. A beautiful apartment. It's like a museum, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
We had tacos.
And he said...
Tacos at Elton.
Yeah.
Did he make them himself? Did you turn it with a pinny and the... Hiya, boys! Is it true he's got a room dedicated to candles?
Yes, his candle cupboard. It's amazing. I want a candle cupboard.
Candle all right. Candle cupboard.
Yeah, it's amazing. He has a different candle in every room, so when you walk through, it's like, oh...
A different scent.
Did he ever put any in the wind and go, that's giving me the idea for a song?
That's amazing.
Anyway, good luck with the new album, as
Thank
if
you
you
very
need
much.
it. It's absolutely brilliant.
Oh, thank
you
you very
so
much.
much.
Tom, it's only 355 days to Christmas. I'm so excited!
They're going to come to our tour?
Yeah. I want to get on that tour bus. Give me that pole. And I will be like a kebab. You're going to perform Nowhere Left to Run at the end of the show. I can't wait for that. McFly, everyone. Thank you very much. After the break, Dame Edna Everage and Matt Lucas will be here. I'll see you in part 2. Welcome back to part 2. Matt Lucas will be here in a bit. But first, from Cameron and Clegg to the Chilean miners to Cat Bin Lady, 2010 was an unforgettable year. To help me look back on some of the best bits is the legendary Dame Edna Everage. They love you.
They do adore me, don't they? But you know, Alan, we have never met.
No.
And yet I feel I know this studio audience very, very well indeed. They love me.
You're like a walking vajazzle. Aren't you? You are. You are.
Happy New Year,
Oh,
Alan.
thank you. Happy New Year to you too. Did you have a nice Christmas?
Well, I'm not very comfortable
Oh,
here.
are you sure? Do you want another cushion, love? Oh, be careful,
I
please.
don't want to give people...
It's a family show.
It is.
It's like a lurid Basic Instincts scene, then.
We don't... we don't want that, do we? But I was given some horrible lampshades at Christmas by Colonel Gaddafi. Have you heard of him?
Oh, yes.
Hideous. Absolutely hideous. Puce and mustard with big flowers all over them. I gave them to Fergie. And she dressed her daughters in them. And they look lovely, too. They work.
I mean, I've got to talk to you about some of the big stories from 2010.
Oh, please do.
The Coalition. What do you think of them? David Cameron and Clegg.
They're identical, aren't they? They look to me. I'm an Australian. They look exactly the same. We have a Prime Minister from Britain in Australia now, a woman. She's from Wales. She's the only Welsh person, I think, who can't sing. She can barely speak, as a matter of fact. She's a strange type of a woman. You know those women you look at and you see right up their nostrils? I don't like it.
No.
Horrible.
No. But don't, you know, with Cameron and Clegg, don't they remind you of Elton John and David Furnish? Did you know that?
I don't... I mean, David and Elton are friends of mine, and I don't want to say rude things on them, even on a show that not many people watch.
You can go off people, you know.
We won't go off each other, Alan. But what I loved about 2010 were those Chilean miners, didn't you, studio audience?
Yeah.
I was at the pithead when they emerged.
Oh, really?
I was there.
Oh, my God.
And a lovely old Chilean miner popped his head up, and unfortunately, his wife and girlfriend were there. Did you read about that?
Yes.
Both of them. And I threw myself between them. I did. And to cut a long story short, that little miner went off with me. He did. I've never had such a hot Chilean in my life. I've had Brazilians, but not Chileans. No. That's the difference, Alan.
And your friend Mel Gibson's had a tough year.
He's brought it on himself. I helped that boy. I remember, you see, I have a little school of acting in my home in Melbourne.
Yes.
And people come and bring their children.
Yeah.
I remember when Mr. and Mrs. Gibson knocked on my kitchen door and they brought this funny little stunted fellow along with interesting eyes, and they said, "Can you teach little Mel everything you know?" And I did. And he had a bit of a mouth on him even then.
Yeah. He didn't call you sugar tits.
No, but he was sipping on the cooking sherry for a while, and I suspected there was a problem down the track for him.
You knew that Mel would, go off the rails?
And he wanted me to be in that religious film of his, too, playing Mary. But he's gone. It's very disappointing for me.
Yeah. Here, have you brought a hat for the royal wedding next year?
Oh, I'm so excited about it.
Oh, I can't wait.
I mean, I am. We all are, really, aren't we? And she's so lovely to know her as I do.
Yeah. What do the royals make of the Middleton family? You know, they say she's a bit, rough round the edges.
They did use the term C-O-M-M-O-N. They didn't all say it. I'm not going to tell you who said it. No. I'm not. Because I'm very fond of Princess Anne. But I think this is going to capture the hearts of the world. And it's put a smile on everyone's face.
It has.
And I'm going to be the maid of honour, as you probably know. And I'm also doing the flowers. I'm going to have the whole of Westminster Abbey filled with gladioli. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be such a beautiful occasion.
I want to know about this hen night. Where are you taking them? Are you taking the Queen?
Hen night, yes, indeed. I'm in charge of that. I'm taking them to Stringfellows. This is a nightclub, and it's run by a rather pushy little fellow called Peter Stringfellow, who dyed hair, indeed dyed skin. It's a little bit down market, but I think it'd be fun for them.
You and Norm spent years together, and then he passed away. What's the secret of a long and happy marriage?
Well, he was bedridden, and that was a big secret. And he didn't interfere with me. And my husband never saw me naked, Alan.
No, really? Never?
Nor did he express the least desire.
Edna Everage, everyone! After the break, Matt Lucas will be here. I'll see you in part 3. Welcome back. McFly will be performing shortly. First, though, fasten your seatbelts and prepare for takeoff. He's the star of Come Fly With Me. It's Matt Lucas!
Hello there. Hello
They're
there.
lovely! Don't milk it. Would you like a drink?
Well, what have you got open? Don't open anything for me.
No,
Are you one of those? So don't open anything for me.
Yeah, then
don't
complain,
open.
Then complain when you go out the door.
Yeah,
Didn't even open that for me.
No, what have you got open?
Bucks Fizz.
Yes, very good.
And Dubonnet.
Oh, I'll go for the Bucks Fizz, actually.
Bucks Fizz, yeah. I think that's a good choice,
Yeah.
darling. So David Williams has been on this show 3 times and you haven't been on at all.
No.
Why? Is it something personal? Don't you like me?
I don't think I've been asked, have I?
Oh, you have.
Have I?
Anyway, let's go.
These are nice.
Yeah,
These are
there's
nice.
a toffee penny
Yeah,
there
I
and
can't
like
have
a finger and...
Do you know what, right? I'm not joking, but I brought 2 guests along, and one of them is my personal trainer, so I can't have these, unfortunately, because she's sat in the audience.
No.
So if I have one, she'll know that I've had it. Usually I lie, but...
Oh, it's a she, it's a she.
It's a she, yeah.
Have you deliberately chosen a she instead of a he?
It's very hard to say, but actually my doctor said to me, he said, you can either have the gastric band
Yeah.
or this particular person. And the thing is, I lost loads of weight, and then I've put a little bit back on. That's my fault, because I've eaten most of Britain in the last year. Yeah. But I need to lose more weight, and now you've put these in front of me. You're trying to fatten me up, aren't you?
No, I've put on weight. I mean, people love you, don't you, when you're fat and you've got a bubbly personality.
Well, you're not a threat. You're not a threat.
That's right, though.
So they love it, yeah. They love it. People try and fatten you up. They come round with chocolates, I bet.
Oh, yeah. They like it when you're funny and fat.
Yeah. Yeah, roly-poly funny man.
Yeah,
They love that.
Yeah. Moo, here he is. It's when they play the tuba behind you as you're walking.
How are you anyway? You're all right?
I am fine. I'm good.
You don't wear a tie? You're not fussed? You're on the telly? People will be watching. My mum will be watching this and you're not wearing a tie.
Really? Does she like people to wear a tie?
Well, I think you should, if you know my mum's watching, you should make a bit of an effort, shouldn't you? Are your family watching?
My family are watching, yeah.
Wouldn't they want you to wear a tie?
Well, no, because now we're going back on my weight again, but I actually can't. Do you know what I mean?
Why?
I'm like Janet Jackson. I have a wardrobe malfunction, but with a turkey neck.
Right, OK.
It's hard, honestly, it's hard to keep it in. Look. You see, look, it just doesn't look good.
Can I...
Hi, welcome to Chatty Man. It's not good, is it?
Can I give you a bit of advice? Whatever you do, don't wear a tie.
Now, the first episode of your new show, Come Fly With Me, it was on Christmas Day.
Yes.
For anyone who passed out on the sofa, let us know what
It was the show that you slept and farted to.
Yes.
It was on at 10 o'clock. Come Fly With Me is the new show from me and David. You know, the ones we've done Little Britain, now we're doing Come Fly With Me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so it's us. It's a new show, but it's us doing lots of different characters and being women and gays again.
Yeah. I got a picture of all those characters.
There we go.
Now, it's based on Airport, isn't it?
Yeah, it's inspired by Airport
One of
and
my
Airline.
favourite shows ever.
Those. I love it. I love those shows. I like the fact that nothing really happens in them. Like, you know, so it's sort of like, Ivan found his plaster. That's what happens at the end. Like, nothing of any great note happens. The plane left on time. I think because we thought, you know, everybody flies at some point, so there's a kind of collective anxiety that everyone has about flying.
Yeah.
And also, all the sort of security rules now. You never quite know. They go, oh, you didn't fill in the form. Well, I didn't know about it sort of changes every time you travel.
But you know what also you highlighted as well, which I was thinking about? Priority boarding.
Yeah.
What a bloody con.
Yeah.
You can get on the plane first. We don't leave any quicker, do you?
No. Well, if you sit at the front, you technically arrive slightly early.
Yeah, but only if you're a bit mental.
Yes.
And also, I was on a flight. I don't know if you heard this, but those air stewardesses, they think that curtain is actually made of solid material. They're talking behind it like, well, I told him if he's going to put that in my mouth, I'll bite it off. They call the curtain fish, chicken, and it. They're stupid. How did you pick the characters? Did you whittle them down? Because there's 50 different characters.
Yeah, we play about 25 each, but some are kind of characters that you see a lot of in this series.
Yeah.
Some are just like bloke, man 2, girl 4. No, when we're writing, we never know who's going to play which one. Occasionally, one of us has a voice. Like, there's a character called Taj that I play, and I was just doing the voice. And similarly, David with Omar, who's the owner of the low-cost airline Flylow.
You're a real chameleon in it. And, like, with David, you can see it's him, you know, but with you, it's like a master of disguise.
I know, no one looks more like a man than David Walliams in a dress, somehow.
Yeah.
But you always look like a sort of a frumpy woman. You look
Yes.
like a great woman.
Yes.
But, like, you never look like... No one watches it and goes, whoa, but...
They do.
How
How dare you? I've turned men. I have. Gay men, I've turned them straight, is what I mean.
Now, the BBC's become a lot more sensitive after Saxgate. How have you got away with, like, playing black women, Muslim men and Japanese schoolgirls?
Well, it's an interesting question, because we do get asked that, but I do think... Say we were doing a show where... and David and I played one character each. I think it would be a bit weird if we just played ethnic characters.
Yeah.
But because the conceit of the show is me and David playing everyone, we have to play everyone. And also, Britain is multicultural, and so I don't think you'd be really reflecting the country as you see it if you didn't do that. And I think we don't try and have ever a joke at the expense of someone's ethnicity. We just have sort of characters, really.
Yeah.
But it's a funny thing because sometimes people, you know, in the newspapers might write that it's offensive, but you never meet anyone who it's trying to stir it up.
Yeah.
Who seems to think it's offensive for that reason.
Because you actually filmed it in a genuine airport, didn't you?
We filmed most of the show in a couple of real airports. Yeah.
Was there any awkward moments when you were, like, dressed up and then you came across people that you were actually taking the piss out of? You know, you can imagine it, can't you?
Well, there was one weird moment where Paul Whitehouse turned up at the airport. He was just travelling.
Yeah.
And I was going, all right, Paul? All right, Whitehouse? And not mucking about. Oi, Shitehouse! And just been like, because I've met him a few times, so I thought I'll do that. Yeah. Oi, Whitehouse, it's Paul Whitehouse. And he keeps going, all right. But then I forgot I was dressed as a sort of 60-year-old black woman. So he didn't know who I was going, Paul Whitehouse is blanking me. And I actually think that's really rude. But then, of course, he didn't have a clue who I was.
No. What did they make of those Japanese schoolgirls? Because they're funny.
Look at me. Gorgeous.
No, look at
Gorgeous.
that. Wow.
Yeah? Come on. Yeah.
But the thing is, at airports, you're always told to look out for people acting suspiciously. Surely someone must have went, oh, my God, there's two Japanese schoolgirls whose faces...
Mad fans of Martin Clunes.
Yeah, standing with a Martin Clunes lunchbox.
Yeah, we like Martin Clunes. We like Martin Clunes. We love Martin Clunes. Yeah. We come from Japan to meet Martin Clunes. Yeah. I can't do the Japanese accent, clearly. But I do love Martin Clunes. That was fun to do. They're only in it once. It's a bit different to Little Britain. There's some characters that are in every week. But we did a lot of one-off characters this time and not nearly so many catchphrases.
No.
And it is a cleaner show. I mean, you talk about Saxgate or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But it is a slightly more family-orientated show. Only slightly, mind.
Yeah.
But it's not quite as rude as Little Britain, no.
Did you and David feel pressure to do, like, something as iconic and as memorable as Little Britain?
You know, you can't put yourself under that pressure. You can only do what we've only ever done, which is just try and do the funniest show possible. And actually, in a way, I didn't think there was pressure because Little Britain became so much bigger than we ever thought it would do that we were just very, very lucky to have a show that was that loved. So I don't imagine we'll ever have a show as big as that again. So in a way, it liberates you from trying to compete with yourself because it's just, you can't, you know. It's like if you won the treble one season in football, you can't judge yourself as a failure if you don't win it the next season. No, I talked about football there, and your eyes glazed over.
Have you just been talking?
Yes, sorry.
Sorry. We've got to take a break there, Matt.
It's all right, I'm not fussed.
No. Join us again in a couple of minutes when I'll be chatting some more with Matt, and McFly will be performing live. I'll see you in part 4.
Alan Carr.
Oh, thank you.
Alan Carr.
Welcome back to part 4. McFly will be singing soon, but look who's still here. It's Matt Lucas. I've got to ask you, how's David at the moment?
He's all right, yeah. Yeah, he's very well.
Do you see any less of him now he's Got a wife?
No, not especially.
No.
I saw him last week, in fact.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You know, at the wedding, when you did your speech...
Yeah. I said, people always ask me if David Walliams is gay.
Yeah, yeah.
If he is, he's going the long way round.
I mean, if he was gay, would you fancy him?
No.
No.
David?
Yeah.
No. No. Would you?
I think he's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever had a glass of wine and ended up kissing?
We've kissed millions of times on stage. And I always get a rash, because he's like, he hasn't shaved.
I get aroused.
No. Well, the weird thing is, no, I could never see him in that... It's like your brother, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. And also, if you're writing as well, you don't want, like, lust to get in between you for 8 hours. Can you imagine, like... You know, and...
I could say, well, you know, can you imagine if you just fancied each other and all the time, but you were, like, writing? You go, well, I would write a joke, but you have to excuse me, I've got a terrible erection right now. And I'm not sure whether to write some more jokes or go and do something about this immense erection.
Yeah.
It would really get in the way.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have a funny show.
No, then you'd be ripping off each other's prosthetics.
Yeah.
And gaffer taping the penis.
Yes.
False boobs.
Yeah. You've got to be dressed as Emily Howard and off we go. Yeah. No, it's not. It doesn't really... It's not for me, that. I'll be honest with you.
Now, before the break, we were talking about your new show, Come
Yeah.
Fly With Me. But that isn't the only thing you've been up to this Christmas, is it?
No. Go on. Well, what have I done?
Well, don't make me feel like a stalker. You took the bins out on Tuesday.
I did.
You also made a programme about your appearance on Les Mis.
Yes, I did, yeah. It's been one of my childhood ambitions to be in Les Miserables, and it's 25 years old now. So there was a big concert at the O2. In fact, we did 2 concerts at the O2. Yeah. And I was in it, yeah.
I know. When you terrified... Oh, no, you must have done the O2 before.
No, yeah, but not singing.
Yeah.
And not singing with proper people. Now, see that gentleman there on the left? That's Alfie Boe, who's kind of the greatest British opera singer you can find. And so he's the #1 British opera singer, so it was lovely to work with him, yeah.
Do you know what? Everyone raves about this Les Mis, but I've never seen it. And
no?
I don't think I fancy it.
Not for you.
It's about revolution, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's all singings.
Singing.
And, well, what do you prefer?
Legally Blonde, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Glee, Wicked.
Glee, yeah, that kind of thing, yeah. I mean, with Cats, you sort of know what to expect.
Yeah. You go to the doctor and he might diagnose you as homosexual. Because they're very kind of camp, puffy musicals, whereas Les Mis believes it to be very sort of serious and sort of majestic and important. Yeah. But I'm in it now, so it's a bit puffy.
Yeah. So what songs are from Les Mis?
Well, I Dreamed a Dream, of course. Oh, Susan Boyle's song.
I dreamed a dream in time gone by. I could have done it.
You could have done it.
I hear you're looking for a place in LA. You're house hunting. Is that right?
Well, I love Britain, and I'm not leaving Britain, but I just thought it would be nice to... Can I be honest with you? Because it would be nice to go there for the winter. Because it's really cold here. Yeah. And I've got no hair. And I get really cold.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
I didn't spot that.
No. It's a funny thing, that, isn't it? People don't... It's something people don't notice about me until they've spent quite a few hours in my company.
Yeah,
And I get cold. I get chilly.
Well, it's a long way to go. Why don't you just buy a hat?
No, I hadn't thought of that. That's a good idea.
Well, good luck with Come Fly With Me.
Thank you very much.
You're going to need it.
Thank you.
Matt Lucas, everyone! That's it for tonight's show. A massive thank you to Dame Edna Everage, McFly, and, of course, Matt Lucas. Yes! Channel 4 have got a Shameless special lined up next week, so we'll be back on the 17th of January when I'll be joined by Adele and Jonathan Ross. But now, with nowhere left to run, it's McFly!